This great session of meditation and spiritual knowledge. I am S.K. Rajan. I am connected to the Pyramid Spiritual Societies of India. For the past 22 years, I'm an ex-official of the Reserve Bank of India and NABARD. I took to this great system, this great national highway of spirituality in the year 1998. And from then on, my life has been celebration all the way. So friends, before we even start the program, it's our usual procedure and it is also recommended that we have our mind still, completely tranquil, at peace with ourselves, and this can be achieved only when you forget the present world and take up to a system of going inside. And for this we need to do meditation. Givama. Hello.
Yes, sir, we can hear you, sir. இல்ல அதெல்லாம் மூவிஸ்க்கு போயிருக்கேங்க லைப்ரரிக்கு அது பரவாயில்ல அதெல்லாம் திருப்பியும் போயிடலாம் வாட்ஸ்அப் இருக்கே sir, your picture is stuck but voice is audible.
Yeah, one second, it's gone somewhere. That's why we'll start it
Okay.
now. Now,
Yes,
now I think okay. திருப்பி அதுக்கு போன மாதிரி தான் வாட்ஸ்அப் போயிட்டேன் வாட்ஸ்அப்புக்கு போங்க திருப்பி அவளோட அந்த ஜூம் லிங்க் அந்த அவ்வளோதான் that's it. இப்படி வைக்கலாம் அந்த சைடு ரைட் சைடில் போட்டு வச்சு அது பரவாயில்ல இப்போ காணலையே இப்போ காணல.
So sorry for the small intervention. Right now we'll start with doing meditation. When we do meditation, our mind gets still and we will be able to absorb whatever is said by me and whatever you hear from me for the next almost 90 minutes. And how we do meditation is very important. This system is known as the Anapanasati system. Anapanasati means one in breath and one out breath. एक उच्छ्वास और एक निश्वास. आंखें बंद करके धीरे से अपने श्वास पर ध्यान रखना. ध्यान रखते हुए आपको अगर कोई थॉट्स या विचार आते हैं फिर भी वापस अपने ध्यान पर ही जाना, अपने श्वास पर ही जाना, उसी पर ध्यान रखना और 15 मिनट के लिए हम ऐसे ही हाथ को एक हाथ के ऊपर एक हाथ, clasp your hands, cross your legs. If you are wearing spectacles, अगर चश्मा है तो निकाल देना. और जब हम ऐसे ही बैठते हैं और ध्यान करने शुरू करते हैं तब धीरे धीरे से ऊर्जा शक्ति हमारे शरीर पर प्रवेश करने का वो जो फीलिंग होता है हम उसे फील कर सकते हैं और उसी तरह बैठ के किसी मूर्ति या किसी भगवान या किसी गुरु पर ध्यान नहीं रखना. No god, no gods, no deities, no idols to be worshipped or thought about. किसी पर भी ध्यान नहीं करना, किसी को भी इस बीच में नहीं ले आना. सिर्फ अपने ध्यान और अपने आप पर धीरे धीरे से श्वास पर ध्यान रखना. ध्यान रखते रखते अगर विचार आए फिर भी वापस अपने श्वास पर ध्यान करना. Please observe your breath, one after another, one in breath and one out breath. That way when you sit, you will be in a position where you are entirely with yourself. You do not have to think of anything. Please do not think about any other thing. Do not pray. Do not think of any God. Do not call for any guru. And that is the only way you can make your mind empty. Gautam Buddha is the founder of this great system of meditation. And as he has often said, right thought, right action, right belief, right meditation. He also meant right meditation, which means there were other systems of meditation which could not have taken you to an empty mind state. भगवान बुद्धा ऐसे ही ध्यान को सारे जगत में फैलाए हैं, सारे जगत में सबको सिखाए हैं. इसी ध्यान से ही आपके मन को एकदम खाली करने का एक प्रयास हम कर सकते हैं. जब मन खाली होता है तब हमारे अंदर ये शक्ति प्रवेश करना शुरू हो जाता है. This sort of a energy, which is otherwise known as the cosmic energy, when it enters the body through the Brahmarantra is the place exactly above on your head. And you must have noticed small children, when the babies are born, that is the softest place on the head. That is the area through which this energy enters. Continue like this for another 5 minutes. And until I say, okay, don't release your hands or open your eyes. When you do this, you are in a complete state of bliss. We'll have some soft music. The music will enable you to go deeply inside. Any soft music will help you achieve a state of stillness, a state of tranquility. Okay, please slowly take your hands and keep them on your eyes for 5 seconds. अभी अपने हाथों को निकाल के धीरे से अपने आंखों पर अपने हाथों को रखना और धीरे से 5 सेकंड के लिए रख के खोलना. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Now we can remove your hands, place them on your laps, open your eyes fully, and now we are back after almost 15 minutes of continuous meditation. ऐसे ही आप अभ्यास करते करते हर एक दिन अपने उम्र के मुताबिक, as per your own age, you have to do meditation for the required number of minutes. If you are 30 years old, you have to do 30 minutes of meditation. And if you are 50 years old, you should do 50 minutes of meditation. It's a continuous process of 50 minutes of meditation per day. So the duration of meditation is linked to your age. And that way, when you do your meditation, that helps you come back into this world from out of that inner world, and with greater enthusiasm and greater energy, because you have already achieved some energy throughout this 15 to 20 minutes, and that will be enough to make you understand that you can come back to full swing, into a full swing of activity, and attend to your daily course with absolute stillness of the mind and clarity in whatever you do. Practice this by creating an ambience in your own house and sitting the early morning itself. There are no conditions whatsoever. You need not have a bath to sit for meditation. When you get up in the morning, you can sit like this and start your meditation on the bed itself. Similarly, when you go to bed in the evening, in the night, before going to bed, sit on your beds and start doing this simple system of observing your breath. It will make you get a very sound sleep when you do it towards the night. So thank you, my dear friends, for having started this whole program with meditation. We also end it with meditation only. Today's subject is the law of karma. What does karma mean? Karma means action. Law of karma means that kri means, it comes from the root kri, to act. Karma comes from the root kri, to act, and means action or deed. Any action, physical or mental, is called karma. As every action is bound to produce its action or reaction or result, as you call it, it is also karma. So the word karma includes both the cause and the effect. All actions of the body, mind, and senses are all karma and produce results being governed by the law of karma. So, you must have heard people say, it is my karma that I happen to be here. It is my karma that I got married to so and so. But then, for understanding what the law of karma is, we should know what exactly the karma law denotes. The law of karma says every action has a reaction or consequence. and we reap what we sow or what we have already sown. If you have sowed seeds of apple, you cannot expect to get guava or oranges. So if you have sown whatever you have sown, only that you will be able to reap. So what goes around comes around. So every action has a reaction, and that implies that it is our obligation to see that we do good, then we get good. If you do bad naturally, you have to pay for it. Let us take a simple example. You are going along the highway and there is a speed limit of 30 kilometers per hour. But if you go at 50 kilometers per hour, naturally you are violating the law, the motor law, and you will be hauled up by the policeman and you will be asked to pay a fine for exceeding the limit prescribed under the law. Similarly, the universal law of karma states that nothing happens by chance or outside the universal laws. Now you may ask me, suppose I do not believe in the law of karma, then what happens? Does it really affect me? Now we have to understand that our entire mythology or holy books of almost all religions prescribe that if you do good, you get good. Now the questions will be, obviously, from those who are learning about karma for the first time, they will ask, after all, I have done something. Suppose I have done something at the fag end of my life, then will I reap the consequences of what I have done at the fag end? The person, suppose, is going to live for 70 years. Towards the 65th year, he commits a murder. But is he penalized, or will he be penalized, or does karma affect him? These are the questions that normally arise from an ordinary layman. Naturally, even if the person who has committed the murder at the fag end of his life, if he dies, if one person dies because of him, and after that this person who has committed the murder dies, the evil effect of that will not be reflected in that particular lifetime. As we believe in the law of reincarnation, when we take rebirth, immediately we will have to suffer the consequence of that. So the statement that you reap what you sow is applicable there, because the effect of that, the cause arises in one janma or one lifetime, and you suffer the consequences in another lifetime. In Hindi, if I have to say it, अगर एक जन्म में हम किसी को बर्बाद करते हैं, किसी को मारते हैं, तो उसका जो असर पड़ता है वो उसी जन्म में वो उसका नतीजा नहीं पहुंचेगा. ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि इसका नतीजा और इसका जो बैड इफेक्ट, बुरा असर है, वो अगले जन्म में आने का संभावना है. This can continue for lifetimes after lifetimes. If you see the mythological story of Mahabharata also, you get ample instances. Dhritarashtra, the father of the Kauravas, had to suffer the consequences of the law of karma after 50 janmas. So you can imagine the effect of the law of karma and how it plays its role. If not in this janma, it plays its role in another janma. So there is no escape whatsoever from the effects of bad deeds that we perform. Now, there is something also to be understood here. It is only bad that we are talking about. Is it right? No. Even good things give you the benefits. अगर आप अच्छे काम करते हैं, सेवा करते हैं, गरीबों की मदद करते हैं, उसी का भी अनुभव, उसी का अच्छा असर, उसी इसके लिए जो आशीर्वाद या अच्छा भलाई जो आपको आना है, वो या तो इस जन्म में आएगा या अगले जन्म में आने का संभावना है. So, if you do good, you will get the results of the good, either in this janma or in the next janma. So, one basic question I have to ask everyone is, why does a rebirth take place? This is one question which naturally has to be answered before we proceed with the properties and other features of the law of karma. The rebirth of an individual takes place, and that too coming back to Mother Earth in another incarnation or in another lifetime. That takes place because of one main important reason. And the reason is that weighed against the total good karma that you have performed over your entire existence during the 60 or 70 or 80 years of your existence, if your good karma is less and your bad karma is more, let us take an example. You have 30 good karma at the fag end of your lifetime, but you have 80 bad karma also at the same time when you have reached, say, 80 years or 90 years. So in 90 years, when you have got almost 80 bad karma and 30 good karma, you still have 50 bad karma to be adjusted, which means you cannot do it during that lifetime. And invariably, the only answer for the universal law to help you set off your bad karma is by taking rebirth. So, the effects of the good karma that you have completed, you will get it either in this janma or in the next janma or in later janmas. But the effect of that 50 bad karmas which are still pending from your side, or the total 80 bad karmas, will arise from this lifetime onwards, and it will be carried forward in your next janma. And for all this, there is only one great principle or outcome which we have to understand, and that is because our soul has got an eternal lifetime. Our soul doesn't die, even if the body perishes in fire or when it is cremated. Only the body dies when a person dies, when the physical body goes, but the soul lives. The soul lives on carrying all the experiences that we have already achieved, already got during one particular lifetime. It's carried forward to the next lifetime and thereafter to further lifetimes too. So, it is incumbent upon us to see that in every lifetime we complete our life on a good note, which means we have more of good karma in our lives, performed more of good karmas by doing good to people, by being truthful. Read the books of Richard Bach. Richard Bach says, The only obligation that we have during this lifetime is to be true to ourselves. When you are true to yourself, then you will be able to do the best things possible for yourself and for humanity. This principle, if continued throughout our lives, we will never be able to do bad to anyone. So doing bad karma includes either by way of action or by way of word or by way of deeds. Word, thought, action, all of them are covered under the law of karma. So even if we think bad, that is also a karma. We have the effects of a bad karma if you think bad for someone. Suppose you are not in good terms with your neighbor and you want to give him some trouble. So you throw the rubbish from your house into his house. That's a bad action. And suppose you mislead someone who is wanting to come to see your neighbor, but you tell him it is not this house, it is 10 houses away. So you try to mislead the other person so that this person is not able to see. Even such small actions also include or add to the bad karma. So we have to think good, we have to do good, and we'll also have to work for it by our own actions. So such good things which we do for any individual or society or for the country adds up to our good karma. But the basic principle under the law of karma is merely which I have done, if I have done 8 good karmas, but I have 17 bad karmas, 17 minus 8, 9 karmas, that sort of a set-off is not allowed under the law of karma. You will get the effects of the good karma by means of good things happening to you. Enough of friends, enough of money, enough of good things in your life, all that can happen only because you have been good to some people. But for what you have done bad, you necessarily you will have to pay for it. So, friends, our present character is the resultant of our past, and our future will be determined by our present actions. This is the most important principle that we have to understand. And the hypothesis of predestination, that means people say, ये तो मेरा कर्म हो गया कि ऐसे है. लेकिन इस तरह का placing the responsibility on karma, on fate, cannot be accepted because we create our own realities. What does that mean? We create our own realities means if we want everything good to happen to us, we have to be good in everything that we do. And if we have done bad, you have to pay for it. And there is a law of compensation which says polarities in nature brings perfect balance and compensation will exist for every act of ours. So a person may reap the result of compensation for his works either in this life or after death in another incarnation. So once we understand these principles, these basic principles, that in the next life or the life thereafter, the law of karma will follow us like any other law which is apparent in our present existence, whether it may be the Motor Vehicles Act or whether it's the law of criminality. All this will follow us throughout our present lives as well as future lives. Now, every religion believes in law of karma, but the law of reincarnation is not accepted by certain religions. But yet, we have to understand, we go by the basic universal principles of reincarnation, along with so many other laws. Now, what are the laws which go or which are in conjunction with the law of karma? This is a very important point if we have to understand the law of karma. Since the law of karma is a vast subject, I have divided it into 2 episodes so that we'll be able to understand it in greater detail. The first is the law of consciousness. The law of consciousness says that everything and every sentient being has got a consciousness. What does that mean? That consciousness is the fear of death and the possibility of death and being aware of life as well as death. All this arises, all this is known as consciousness. So if you compare a plant with an animal, the plant has only 10% of consciousness because it contains basically almost full of water. 70 to 80% is water and only 20% is consciousness. But if you compare an animal with that, it has got almost 90% consciousness because a goat, if it sees a tiger, it naturally runs away because it is sure it will be attacked and it wants to live. But because it sees a tiger, it is afraid that it will be pounced upon and it will die. So it starts running. It has got consciousness. In another way, if you have to understand the comparison between plant as well as animal, the animal eats when it is hungry and the plant gets the food from the soil. But the animal can always decide when to eat and when not to eat, when to run, when not to run. So all these things are possible. But as against all this, whether it's a plant or whether it is an animal, when it is of a human being, the human being has got 100% consciousness, which means he can decide whether to eat or not to eat. And when he is pounced upon by another wild animal, naturally he fears death and he starts running away. And he can also have what animals don't have, that is a memory. It can decide, he can think, he can decide for himself what is good and what is bad. He can also do things according to his own mental and physical capacity. All this is not there for a plant or for an animal in entirety as compared to the individual. Now we come to another law which is in conjunction with the law of karma, and that is the law of constant progression. The law of constant progression says that once we are born in this world, then we will have a state of progression towards spirituality and in our own understanding of the entire universal laws, all the laws of nature and the laws of whatever is happening around us, the time when the sun appears, the moon appears, and the time when things are good, things are bad, all that we'll be able to understand. But our knowledge will keep on increasing. So there's a constant progression. Our knowledge about the laws, about our own responsibilities, and about what we should be doing to benefit society. So law of constant progression means there will be a constant progression. No one will go back in their knowledge. The next is the law of hastening progression. How does the law of hastening progression work? The law says that once you have taken up your birth on this mother earth and you have reached a particular stage of evolution. Say you have already reached an age of 30, then you become 40 or 50. Then there is a hastening of your progression towards the better things, towards higher things, towards honesty, towards being good, towards compassion. So all that starts happening very fast. The law of hastening progression indicates that you start progressing very fast towards becoming a better human being. Next comes the law of uncertainty. The law of uncertainty says that however much you plan things about either your own self or about your country or about the whole of the world, there is uncertainty around. And what more do you need to prove this uncertainty than the present situation where you have a virus which is prevailing throughout the world and which is shaking humanity? So here is another instance of the uncertainty that is prevailing. So the law of uncertainty can happen anytime. Even in the case of an individual, when he dies suddenly, we can say it is another portion or another example of the law of uncertainty. Finally, we come to one more law, which is in conjunction with the law of karma. That is the law of reincarnation. The reincarnation of any individual is definitely to take place, but much depends upon his own knowledge of karma, his own actions in karma during his lifetime. For example, a person who is come on this earth and completed throughout his lifetime as a yogi, doing only good things and never committing any bad karma, then he will have his bag full of good karma. So, according to very great spiritual gurus as well as theologists, the moment this person, this great yogi, vacates his body, then his soul goes to the other worlds, and there he is given an option whether he wants to come back to the earth either to do service to humanity or to nature, or whether he would like to continue in the other worlds performing tasks which are useful to new souls entering the spirit world. He is given an option because he has been good all along. In such circumstances, he is also given an option to work in other galaxies so that he can perform equal tasks or better tasks by going there. After all, there are people who are also preferred to come to this earth so that they can be good teachers. Take the instance of Mahavira. Take the instance of very great spiritual gurus like Ramana Maharshi, Buddha, Krishna, and all. They have all taken lives. They have taken the chance to come back to the earth so that they can make this earth a better place. So the law of reincarnation provides that you have the option to reincarnate or not, or remain in the other worlds by doing service. But when you come as a teacher here, then obviously you will try to make more and more people good. So the very idea of reincarnation is that after every lifetime, this particular soul evolves more and more. It ceases to be a baby soul or an infant soul, and it becomes an old soul. Old soul means that you have taken very many lifetimes, and by then you have reached the highest level of and highest quality of spirituality. So the more the number of births, the greater is the evolution which is found in the particular individual. So all these laws of consciousness, constant progression, hastening progression, uncertainty, and reincarnation help to know the law of karma better. Now, there are very many things which are often confused, and people feel that karma is a law which is meant only to punish every individual for his bad actions. That is entirely wrong. So, it is important that we consider and see what are the important properties of the law of karma. The first law is that first property of the law of karma is that it is logical and predictable. So logical means a person who is good will be rewarded, a person who is bad, who has performed intentionally he has caused some wrong to be done to someone, he will be punished. And it is predictable in the sense one who is good has to be given only good. There can never be a mistake of punishing a person unintentionally or when he has not done any wrong. The law of karma is so very great in the sense that it enables human beings to become self-responsible. So it creates a sense of self-responsibility. It also teaches us that we should be loving each other. So here, what Mahavira and Buddha or Krishna preached, that is, we have to love everyone and be compassionate to everyone, and we should understand that everyone deserves to live, and it applies not only to human beings but also to nature. So we have no right to kill a plant or a tree or anything which gives us enough good advantage. We have no right to contaminate a water body because the water is also equally important for us. It's part of nature. So protecting nature is also our duty. Protecting animals and other sentient beings, whether it be fish or reptiles or insects or birds, all that is our responsibility, and we have to be in communion with these beings also and try to see that they are protected and they are never hindered, they are never killed for any reason whatsoever. So one more property that the law of karma has, it links action with return. So you will get the return according to your action. So when you have done good in this janma, you deserve to get good returns in the next janma. But if it is otherwise, we have to be prepared for the consequences. And as per very many great spiritual authors who have gone to the other side astrally, they will be able to tell us very clearly that we take a pledge before coming on to this Mother Earth, which is treated as a school of learning for all the souls. So before we come here, or before we set our feet here, we take the pledge that we will be living for this many years. We will be making good for whatever bad we have caused in the previous janmas, in the previous lifetimes. And we will also suffer the consequences of our bad actions. So these are all the pledges that we undertake to or to meet with when we come on this Mother Earth. And there is no way we can escape from it, but the only unfortunate matter is that we do not remember what we have already taken pledges about. We would have pledged to make good the laws of life for someone, but we forget it. But we remember it when probably remember it, I would say, when something happens to us which affects the life of someone close to us who dies immaturely. So it is unfortunate that we do not remember that we have probably killed someone in the past Janma, and that has caused me or my family to incur the loss of some member of the family. So Osho says by the age of 60, we should have been able to prepare a balance sheet of our lives to see how much of good karma we have done and how much of bad karma we have already done, that too intentionally or otherwise. So that is the time when we start emerging into a corrective action to make good all our bad karma and set it off before we depart from here, before we vacate our body. Those who are ignorant of all this, they suffer from the shock of whatever wrong things that can happen to us which harm them, not knowing that they themselves are responsible for whatever actions that are befalling them, that are confronting them. Now, I would like to tell you one small incident which really created an awakening of the law of karma that happened in the West when a Jewish priest by the name of Rabbi Kuzner, he was performing his duties as a priest by going to the synagogue daily and glorifying God, saying God is omnipotent, omnipresent, compassionate, and all that. But when he returns to his house, he finds that his child, his 10-year-old son, has started growing very old. And by the end of 1 year, he used to be almost looking as if he is 5 years old. So he is confronted with a disease known as progeria. This progeria has been making him older very, very fast. So by the age of 15, he has almost grown a beard. And by the age of 20, he has started getting bald. So now this priest has been good all along. He has never thought of anything bad for any individual or for any being whatsoever. So the general question arose among the community as to why such a thing happens to such a person who has been good all along. So in those days, they were not very much aware, those in the West, about the law of karma. So among very many great intellectual people, the question arose, why do bad things happen to good people? And why this man who has been doing good all his life, glorifying God, praying about God, teaching the entire citizens about God and the good work that they should be doing, and in turn spreading all the spiritual wisdom that he has been doing. But he himself was suffering despite all his good work. So this provoked a long history or long discussion, and a lot of rethinking took place among the theologists, among the philosophers, among the big people, intellectuals in the society, as to why he is confronted with such a great disease as to see his son going towards death in the fastest way possible. That means he is almost aged. By the age of 20, he looks like a 80-year-old man, although he has been good all his life. That is when the people were reminded of what the Vedas say. Our Vedas have very clearly stated that it is not only one life that we have. We keep on coming during very many lifetimes to meet and to settle off the deeds that we have done which were bad and to make our future better. So this provoked the question as to how or why do bad things happen to good people. And after a lot of discussions and after a lot of research, they agreed that there is something known as past lives and there is something known as rebirth. So with these words, gentlemen, friends, अभी जो कुछ हमें बताया, हमारे हिंदी तो उतना शुद्ध नहीं है, इसीलिए मैं उतना कोशिश नहीं कर सका, माफ कीजिएगा। लेकिन इतना तो कहना जरूरी है कि हम सबको हमारी जिंदगी में ये कर्म सिद्धांत पर विश्वास करना ही होगा। जितने हम अच्छे करते हैं उतना अच्छा हमें पाने का मौका मिल जाएगा। और हमारे इसी जन्म में अगर सब कुछ अच्छा होता हमारी तरफ से तो अगला जन्म बहुत बहुत अच्छा होगा। It will be glittering with abundance, with lot of good, lot of goodwill, lot of happiness, lot of harmony and lot of peace. So we again continue this session next week to know more about the law of karma, which is the most important law, universal law, which applies to every one of us, so that we become better citizens of this great cosmos. By knowing these laws, we will know what is good and what is bad, and how to take things as they come. And that is known as the surrender experiment. I will tell you more about what the surrender experiment is when we happen to communicate with each other and continue this session next week. Thank you. And we will now go over to do at least 10 to 12 minutes of meditation. Please clasp your hands like this.
Sir, I have a question.
Close your eyes. Are you ready for any interaction? Do we have time?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can
Some
shoot. Yeah,
yes.
you can shoot the questions. I am ready. You can ask your questions. Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, please tell me.
Yeah, sir, you told about energy and consciousness in plant kingdom.
Please be louder.
You told about presence of consciousness in plant kingdom, in animal kingdom,
Yeah.
and I heard that mineral kingdom also has consciousness.
Yes, it has a little bit of consciousness, but not to that extent.
How can we prove that? I mean, how can we know that mineral kingdom also has consciousness?
Mineral kingdom, actually, you know what? Under that law, the mineral kingdom work as a community. Okay,
Okay.
like the animal kingdom only. See, the animal kingdom, they also have a communal group. That is an association sort of thing. Okay, suppose I'm giving an example. Suppose you heard the one of the animals, then say, for example, you take a goat or hen or cow. You take the cow, for example, okay? When you herd the cows have a community of cows. It is known as group karma or group action.
Cool.
Similarly, the minerals also have it, but they won't act, they can't act, but they can cause emitting a poison, they can give you a problem. You understand? Similarly, the cows can emit certain things of certain kinds of disease they can invite to protect themselves. That's why you had mad cow disease. You understand? So there is group action possible by either animals or plants or animals. Mineral, animal, plant, any of them can cause group actions against humanity. Am I correct? Am I able to answer you?
No, sir. Can you explain a little bit more about how mineral kingdom, how it acts?
See, yeah, minerals are what is found in the earth. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, these minerals, all minerals are not always okay for mankind. There are certain minerals which emit
Okay,
certain kind of poison into the atmosphere. You understand?
okay,
So
okay,
the
okay.
only way they can rebut means fighting against. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
and that is what happened even in the case of bird flu came because of only their actions like this. So similarly, minerals can also cause it. It's only
Hmm.
group action. Individually, a mineral piece of mineral cannot do it,
Hmm.
but they can do it in a group. So that means they have a
Okay,
consciousness. You understand?
okay, okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They have a consciousness of their own to fight back against any person causing them problems. Yeah. Next,
Thank you.
please. Yeah. Anything else? Any other doubts? Yes.
Sir, as of now, no doubts, sir. Uh,
Okay. Okay. Right.
yeah,
Shall
we
we
can.
go into meditation?
Yes, sir.
Just 10, about 15 minutes of meditation we'll do and then stop. Then we'll decide about next week. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I completed only half of it. We still need lot of items in the law of karma, that is the benefits of knowing it, and then how to get over bad karma, all that is there. That will be covered next time. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So please clasp your hands, close your eyes, cross your legs, sit comfortably. Sukhasthira asana, इसी को बोलते हैं सुख स्थिर आसना. जहां हम बैठे हैं वो सुख स्थिर, सुख से बैठना है, so that you can sit for a long time. That is the idea. Bhagwan Buddha wanted everyone to do long hours of meditation, so this is the method he has prescribed.